wanted this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra. Walk with me, you know.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another episode podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got DDR, we got Michael, we got Jude, we got Martin, we got They Call Me Dorts, they got Silver Clay, Fanatics. What's up, man? Appreciate you guys for being here in the YouTube chat. Do me a huge favor, ladies and gentlemen. Smack up the like button here on your way in. Also, subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We're on the road to 19K. Yeah, 1-9, ladies and gentlemen. And once we hit that, we will be giving away this Arizona Cardinals Nike Rivalry mini helmets. It can be yours if you just go ahead and subscribe it up, ladies and gentlemen. It's absolutely for free. Today, we are going to be diving into the latest breaking news and what the heck is going on with the Arizona Cardinals. If you guys do not know, I feel like the Cardinals right now are one of the few teams that have not really been doing very much. It's kind of like that meme, right, where you're like poking, you're like poking that Monty Ford in the head or Michael Biddle in the head, saying, "Come on, do something, right? Do something." The Arizona Cardinals right now, for some reason, have not done very much within the last few days. Now, what we just witnessed in the past weekend, we had some really good games on Saturday. We had some really good games on Sunday as well. Overall, it was a fantastic weekend. It sucks to be a Cardinals fan because obviously, you got two NFC West rivals of yours in the conference championship, and they most likely will be in the Super Bowl. At least one of them will be in the Super Bowl, and they're going to represent the NFC West. I hate it, man. I really, really do hate it. But at the end of the day, I guess congratulations to them and their fan base. I know that they have been, specifically the Seahawks, they've been doubted a lot, right? They've been doubted a lot, especially with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold doesn't need to do a lot. He really doesn't. That defense and that special teams unit does way more than enough to make Sam Darnold just sit back there and hopefully doesn't throw the game away. Like, that's it. But you got two of the best teams coming their way this coming weekend. Rams versus Seahawks. I'm excited to watch that game, but I'm not excited to watch another NFC West in the Super Bowl, or team in the Super Bowl. I'm really not, but that's the circumstance that we're in, ladies and gentlemen. We're also going to be diving into the breaking news that we just heard about 2 hours ago. Sean McDermott now becomes available. Is that a realistic option for the Cardinals? Should it be? And does Michael Bidwell finally wake up? Well, we got a lot to dive into today, ladies and gentlemen, because like I said before, the Arizona Cardinals, for some reason, have not been doing a lot of anything, right? They've been kind of sitting back, relaxing. Now, in my last video, I did make a little bit of a mess up. I want to go ahead and make sure I correct it right now for the people that are watching this live stream, that I ended up saying on my last video that Matt Burke is no longer available. That's actually incorrect, and I apologize about that. I got my guys messed up, and that's completely 110% on me. The guy that the Falcons ended up bringing in, or not bringing in, but they're retaining, is Jeff Ulbrich, right? So I got confused with Matt Burke and Jeff Ulbrich. There's just a lot of names out there right now, but this list still stands. Saleh still available, Kubiak still available, Morris, Shula, Joseph, LaFleur, Brown, Minter, Weaver, Nagy, Hafley, Smith, and Burke. They're all still available. I just wanted to make sure that I come out here and right my wrongs, because I was wrong when I said that, and I made a big comment on there. But obviously, when you're making a YouTube video, once it's out to the internet, you can't do anything about it. But I wanted to go ahead and make my my rights wrong, or my wrongs right. But Matt Burke, is that a realistic spot for the Cardinals to go after a head coaching? Probably not. So it's probably not going to be that big of a news anyways. But let's dive right into it, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot to talk about. We have over 90 of you guys right now on the YouTube side. Smack the like button, guys. Please smack the like button. It lets other Cardinal fans know that we're currently live right now, and they can jump on, subscribe, and we can get to that 19K goal, right? So smack the like button, and let's dive into it. Let's first talk about the big breaking news that dropped, and that is Sean McDermott is no longer the head coach of the Buffalo Bills. I want to come out here and say this. The Buffalo Bills made an absolute mistake. An absolute mistake, ladies and gentlemen. Why they went after and fired McDermott is going to be something that they're going to be talking about for probably years to come. Now, obviously, it depends on who they bring in. Are they going to be bringing in a Saleh? Are they going to be bringing in a Mike Tomlin? Does Mike Tomlin say, okay, hey, I might want that job. I don't want to take a year off after all? Maybe. We don't know how it's all going to shake out, right? But one thing that we do know right now is that Sean McDermott now hitting the coaching carousel market is massive, massive, massive news for the world of the NFL. There's going to be so many teams potentially going to try to get his services in their team. Right now, I believe, what is there, 8 openings right now? There was originally 9. 2 got filled. I believe there were 7 left. Now there's 8 jobs opened up. It's a crazy, crazy time right now in the NFL. The only 2 teams that have gotten quote unquote their guy is John Harbaugh with the Giants, as well as the Atlanta Falcons with Kevin Stefanski. And I've heard some mixed reviews about Kevin Stefanski. Oh, I want him. Oh, I don't want him. But the realistic nature right now is the Cardinals are trying to flip over every stone, right? Like that's what they're trying to do. We heard that the Cardinals were in on John Harbaugh. We made a phone call to them, and it was an extensive phone call, which is cool, right? I get it. At the end of the day, it wasn't really realistic, but this is a coach you need to go after and make a phone call. But not just that. You need to take it a step further. Michael Bidwell needs to jump on his plane, go on his private jet that it's on your expense, right? All the people that attended Arizona Cardinal games and watched the Arizona Cardinals on your expense, why he got multiple jets. Jump on that jet and go home, pick up Sean McDermott and bring him in and see what it will take to make him an Arizona Cardinal head coach in 2026. This whole division is stacked up against us, ladies and gentlemen. It's stacked up against us from the very top to where we are at right now. We are in the bottom of the barrel. And I said this on my last video. I truly believe the Arizona Cardinals have reached a state of irrelevance. People forget that we're an organization. People forget that we're a team because of how bad we've been for the last 4 years. And if we bring in a coach like a Sean McDermott, or if we bring in a coach that has expectations to fight within this NFC West, forget the days of rebuilding 2 or 3 years, right? We only say that to ourselves because we bring in these inexperienced guys like your Wilkes, your Cliff Kingsbury, which at the time it was a hot name out there, and then Gannon. Nobody wanted Gannon. Ain't nobody wanted Gannon. Nobody did. The Cardinals waited too damn long, and they said that he was their guy. Guess what? 3 years later, he's not their guy anymore, right? But if you want to bring in somebody that's going to change the trajectory of your organization, this is the guy you need to get. Sean McDermott, bring him in and see what it will take. Now, Michael Bidwell, another straight conversation to you. You need to be able to determine if he's your guy. You got to go ahead and put a check out there and make him happy, right? This is a coach that's going to be double digits. And I mean double digits in millions of dollars. You're not going to get Sean McDermott for $5 million, $6 million, $7. No, it's probably going to be somewhere upwards of $15 million. It's going to be a lot of money, but he has coveted that. He has 9 years of accrued head coaching experience. He's got 8 playoff wins, something like that. He's been in multiple he's won multiple divisions in the AFC East over there. I think it's 5 division titles under his name. And his record being a regular season head coach is absolutely amazing. This is what you need to bring in for the Arizona Cardinal fans to get us excited about 2026. This is what you would need to do for us to get excited. I'm hearing a lot of people out there linking Vance Joseph to the Cardinals. We'll talk about him a little later on. And on my last video, I mentioned Vance Joseph, and I'm going to just spoiler alert, I don't want Vance Joseph. He's not on the top of my list. I don't think it's going to be the end-all be-all if he does sign with the Cardinals, but I do not want Vance Joseph as the next head coach of the Arizona Cardinals, right? Now, it does worry me that the Cardinals aren't being aggressive. It does worry me that the Arizona Cardinals see Saleh now available, and they're not really moving any needles to have him come physically to Arizona. That worries me, right? Are they more in on Kubiak than Saleh now? I don't know. All I need is a plan, and all I need is for one of these top guys to get hired by the Arizona Cardinals. That's what I'm looking for moving forward. Let me give some love on over here. We got Quinn LaBelle. What's up? $5 donation coming our way from Quinn. Thank you so very much for the super chat saying this. I think Clint Kubiak is still our guy for head coach. He might be a good coach or Sean McDermott too. Okay, so you're leaning towards more Clint Kubiak than Saleh. Okay, that's fair. And that's the thing too. I mentioned this before on my last video, right? I don't care if it's Kubiak or Saleh. I really don't. My main concern that I have right now is that we are playing a little bit of a game of Russian roulette right now, right? Like if we have one guy that we're waiting for, I hope it's not Vance Joseph, but if we have one guy that we're waiting for and it's Clint Kubiak, I just hope that he wants us back. That's the only thing I can hope for right now, that they have some sort of inside information as to why they're not being as aggressive with Saleh, right? Now, like I said, if Saleh's not their guy and they don't really believe that he has a good plan to get us out of this NFC West basement right now, okay, I respect that. But does Kubiak want to come to us, right? Because we don't have a quarterback. We don't have or at least let me rephrase that. We have a quarterback in Kyler Murray, but it's just so unknown right now with is he coming back? Does he want to be a Cardinal? We don't know. There's so much unknown going on with this organization right now that a big name like Kubiak with no head coaching experience, and can he bring a real solid, knowledgeable teacher of teachers? That's one thing I'm a little worried about, right? Not having that head coaching experience. Yes, he could be a guru. Yes, he's making uh, Sam Darnold over there look really, really good, but can he bring those level of experience, top-notch coordinators with them to his staff? Well, let's see, right? I'm not out on the idea. It's just that's why I'm leaning a little bit more towards Saleh, but literally 1A, 1B for the most attainable guys for the Cardinals to go after. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you so very much, Quinn, for the super chat. Absolutely appreciate it. But yeah, man. Um, we got my guy Ari's in the chat says, has a team talked to Kubiak yet? They have. They have. It was last weekend. It was the weekend before this divisional round. It was during the wild card weekend that the Arizona Cardinals have met with Kubiak. But guess what? A lot of teams met with Kubiak. I believe the last report that I ended up seeing was that at the time there was 8 teams looking for a head coach, and I think this is before Baltimore and the Steelers. There were 8 teams, or it might have been during that. But anyways, 6 teams were looking to interview Kubiak. So he's not like the Cardinals aren't the only ones in on Kubiak. So, like I said, I like the idea of this is the route the Cardinals want to go. It's just, does he want to come here? Like, that's the big question out there right now. Does he want to come here? And that's one thing I'm a little worried about, right? I'm a little worried about the fact that the Cardinals are being a little timid. They're not being as aggressive as I thought they were going to be because Monty said they were going to be aggressive. Monty Ossenfort came out and said that they were going to be aggressive. Whoever the guy they want to go after, they're going to be aggressive, they said. And kind of the state of right now, it's crickets. It's crickets right now for the Arizona Cardinal fans. So we'll see. Like I said, it's not end all be all with Saleh. I get it. If they do bring in Mike LaFleur, I'm at least interested in Mike LaFleur. One guy I'm not really interested in is Vance. I'm sorry. Vance Joseph is not on my top list right now of guys that I would love for the Arizona Cardinals to bring in 2026. Call me crazy, call me effed up, call me whatever you want. Vance just is not it for me. And the fact that the Arizona Cardinals right now are chilling and not aggressive gets me a little worried that we have a lot of people predicting that the Cardinals are going after Vance Joseph. And the only reason why we didn't bring him in is because he's still in the playoffs, right? Now, will he make it past the Patriots? Probably not, right? Bo Nix, unfortunately, broke an ankle or has an ankle injury, and he's done for the season. Obviously, prayers up to Bo Nix. I was really rooting for him and hopefully, having some sort of success in the playoffs. Crazy news dropped that Bo Nix broke his ankle. I believe it was during the time when he kneed the ball down. I don't know. It's a weird story. It really is. It's just odd. But I don't think the Broncos are going to make it past the Patriots. And now the Cardinals aren't really doing anything. So I'm a little worried that Michael Bidwell is like, oh, well, we know Vance. Vance and us, we're like this. We're like this. It's okay. Let's wait. That's one thing that worries me tremendously, that we are so sold in the fact that Vance is the guy that we're willing to wait it out. And that worries me. It really, really does. I don't want him here. And I don't think it's the end all be all if he is, but there's other candidates out there that the Cardinals need to be more aggressive for than waiting for Vance. And that's kind of what it feels like. Let me give a real quick shout out. Adrian with the super chat. Not just that, a $10 super chat. Woo!
Another one.
Thank you so very much for the super chat. Adrian coming up clutch saying this. If you don't want McDermott, don't say foot or ball. He's the best chance we got to win. I'm taking him over any coach besides Harbaugh and Tomlin when they're available. Bidwell, make it happen. Woo, can we? Here we go, Adrian. Absolutely factual. Absolutely factual. Now, I ended up making a video about this. Obviously, this is big news, right? This is massive, massive news in the world of the NFL that McDermott is available, right? It's massive news. And believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I have some people on my comments saying, "Oh, why do you even want him? He doesn't go past the division round. Oh, he can't make it deep. He can't go in the Super Bowl. Why do you even want him?" And I've seen some people saying, "Oh, Josh Allen, he can't win with Josh Allen. Why would he win with us?" The level of stability that this guy brings, and I'm talking about Sean McDermott, is night and day to the fact that it probably won't even correlate to our Arizona Cardinal fans' minds, right? He brings a level of consistency. He brings a level of culture changing, actual culture changing, not pew pew pew, not fire in the gut, not did you take the bus type of culture changing. No, we're talking about real culture changing, right? And that's Sean McDermott. That's the Mike Tomlins of the world, it's John Harbaugh's of the world. That's what he brings. And the level of success that he has within the NFL, how do you not want a taste of that? How do you not want a piece of that pie? Because, like I mentioned before, and shout out here to Adam Schefter for obviously posting this here on his X/Twitter, in the 9 games, right? In the not 9 games, I'm sorry, the 9 seasons that he's been the head coach of the Bills, right? In the 9 years he's been the head coach of the Bills, Sean McDermott has 8 playoff appearances. He's 98-50 in the regular season. And he's got 5 AFC East titles. How do you not want that? How do you not want that level of success? How? I don't get it. I don't understand it. It almost kind of feels like there's some Cardinal fans, maybe it's because they don't feel like it's realistic, so they don't want to give themselves too highs of hopes, and that's fine. I get that. But we gotta push this organization, man. We gotta push this organization to do better. That's what we need. That's what we need to push this organization to do better. Because right now, I truly believe if we don't voice our opinions, this can realistically be a realistic thing to happen when the Broncos next week get booted out by the Patriots, right? Because let's be real, I don't think they're going to move. I don't think they're going to beat the Patriots. I really don't, especially with their backup quarterback. And if they do, woo, shout out Sean Payton. Shout out to him. But I don't see a world where they do. But if we allow it to happen and we don't voice our opinion about this whole Vance Joseph linking him to the Cardinals because he's got connections, because he was here for 4 years under Cliff Kingsbury, they might do it. They might actually bring him in as the next head coach because we got the comfortability, right? Because we got the comfortability with Vance Joseph. I don't think it would be the worst thing in the world if Vance Joseph gets hired, but he is not. He's not the best candidate right now for you to try to change your culture and get your Cardinal fan or get the Cardinal fans excited about 2026. He's not. He's not. And I'm not the only one saying this, ladies and gentlemen. He's not. So, Michael Bidwell, Monty Ossenfort, please stop being you and actually do something different. Make a call to Sean McDermott and see what it will take to bring him to the desert to interview him. That's all I'm asking for. And right now, as close of a blank check as you can provide to him, you want to get your season tickets back up and get everybody excited about 2026. I almost promise you, you bring in a guy like Sean McDermott, you're going to get a lot of people excited about the idea about 2026. So, yeah, I mean, it's crazy to me. No, I don't want Vance Joseph. I really don't. I really, really do not want Vance Joseph in this Arizona Cardinals or organization. Do I feel like it probably is plausible? It feels a little plausible. And just like my guy J10 in the chat says, time to go mainstream, time to be relevant. Get McDermott in the desert. Here is what my guy J10XXXX is saying. And yeah, we are a irrelevant team right now. And that's worse than being a sucky team. We're not even good enough for people to laugh about. Well, people forgot that we existed. Like, that's the problem that we're living in right now. That's the problem that we're living in right now, that nobody even knows that we exist because we just been so bad for multiple years. And it might be 5 straight years if the Cardinals don't get this head coaching job right? It seriously might be 5 years if the Arizona Cardinals don't get this head coaching job correct. They need to bring somebody in that's going to be able to change the trajectory of this organization. I don't want Vance Joseph in this organization. I really don't. I really don't. For the people that are just tuning in, do me a massive favor, ladies and gentlemen. If you can go and subscribe on over to the channel. We're on the road to 19K. And smack the like button on this video as well. Cannot do it without you guys. Appreciate you guys for being here up and foremost in the chat. But yeah, for the new people that do not know what the list consists of, right? The potential coordinators that the Cardinals have already reached out to. This is the most up-to-date list, not rankings, but list of all the coaches the Arizona Cardinals have reached out to so far. In the next couple of days, I sure as heck hope that the Arizona Cardinals add Sean McDermott to this list. I sure as heck hope, because this right here is getting a little too, what's the word? This is being talked about a little too much. Way too much for my liking. Way too much for my liking. Quinn in the chat says he was already bad when we had him before. Yeah, I mean, I still remember a lot of people asking for Vance Joseph to get fired. How does that make sense to bring him in and get Cardinal fans excited? How? If you sign Vance Joseph here, all it tells me is that Michael Bidwell continues to make real bad decisions from the top down. Nothing will ever change because Michael Bidwell is the guy calling the shots. He's saying it's Bidwell. I'm sorry, he's saying it's Monty Ossenfort, but it truly isn't. It truly isn't Monty Ossenfort. It's probably Michael Bidwell making these decisions, and that's the problem. He needs to step away. Step away, and I'm not saying sell the team, but step away for somebody to actually do their job and bring in somebody that they want to bring in. And if anybody had their option, it probably wouldn't be Vance Joseph. And that's no disrespect to him. That's no disrespect to him. I know what he's accomplished and what he's done as a defensive coordinator in the NFL. Kudos to him. A lot of people can't say that they've accomplished what he has in the NFL, and that's awesome. But it doesn't feel like the move for me. It doesn't feel like the move for me. But yes, just like Quinn in the chat says, he already was bad when he had him before. A lot of people wanted him fired under the Cliff Kingsbury regime. A lot of people wanted him fired under the Cliff Kingsbury regime. And it feels like the Cardinals might be going back to the same situation because of money, right? It's what it feels like because of money, unfortunately. Jose in the chat says, we need Bruce Arians. Well, Bruce Arians was really the only guy that we had that made us relevant. I mean, let's be real. Cliff Kingsbury gave us a lot of eyes when we hired him out of college, right? Because the Jets wanted him too. Wilkes didn't really do anything. Gannon was kind of now 3 years later, a kind of a afterthought, right? The pew, 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 the shots, right? Explosives, fire in the gut. Did you take the bus? That just seems laughable at this point. Like, how do we truly waste 3 years of our lives? 3 years of our lives believing that Gannon was going to be nothing other than what he was. We need to do something different. Bring in experience and bring in a level of a guy that knows what he's doing. And I'm so sorry. It just ain't it for me with fans. It isn't. Now, let's talk about Saleh real quick. The Titans are being aggressive to the fact that I wanted the Arizona Cardinals to be this aggressive right here. I wanted the Arizona Cardinals to be this aggressive. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we've heard this report for probably about a week or so now that the Titans and the Ravens were going to be meeting with Saleh yesterday on Sunday. It was a virtual meeting, right? A virtual meeting is what the Titans were going to do. The Titans scrapped that, and they said that we're going to meet you on Monday. Physically, they told Robert Saleh. So they said, Robert Saleh, we know that you're going to be a part of our top 3. Because if Saleh wasn't there, the original list was Nagy, Hafley, and Stefanski. Those were the original three that the Titans dwindled it down to. Now, because Stefanski got signed with the Falcons, now the top three are Saleh, Nagy, and Hafley. So I'm hoping the fact that maybe because Robert Saleh might have felt like the fourth, that they don't bring him in. But why aren't the Cardinals this aggressive? Why aren't the Cardinals, calling their shot and saying, hey, I need you to come here on Monday. I need you to come here on Monday or Tuesday. Give us your time and see if it will work. Now, of course, if I had my option out of the two, right? Of course, I would choose McDermott in a heartbeat over Saleh. But my mind is looking for more of the conservative route because I know who our owner is, right? I know who our owner is, so I'm thinking more of a conservative route. I would love to get Saleh. Or if not Saleh, Kubiak. I'm cool with that as well. But if you want to swing for the fences, you go after McDermott. He right now is the top candidate, and it's not even close. And it's not even close right now, ladies and gentlemen. Every NFL team, I almost promise you, if they haven't already, they've contacted his agent that said, what will it take? What is he looking for, right? I almost promise you that that's happening right now. Now, the Arizona Cardinals, right? Let's continue to talk about this because this search is still ongoing. Does it feel like it's coming to a close soon? It doesn't. It doesn't. I thought that maybe we would get a little closer to kind of dwindle down this 13 name list, right? I thought we were going to get closer to dwindling down this 13 name list down to maybe 3 or 4 or 5, but we just haven't. Now, once we get more news this coming week, maybe it does help us paint a better picture as to who the Cardinals might potentially bring in. But you get breaking news like this with McDermott, you pivot, right? You get breaking news like this with McDermott getting fired, you pivot. You absolutely pivot. So we'll see. We'll see what the Cardinals do. Now, obviously, like I mentioned before, there's only two teams. There's only two teams right now that have gotten their guy, right? Stefanski with the Falcons and Harbaugh with the Giants. That's it. Everybody else is still looking at for head coach, just like we are. We're not in a solo boat. I'm just hoping, fingers crossed, that the Arizona Cardinals don't put themselves in a situation where we're the last guys to pick, right? I'm just hoping that we're not going to put ourselves in a position that we're going to be the last guys to pick. That's kind of what I'm looking for. I'm trying to avoid that. Let's go with Eddie in the chat. What's up? It's the Eddie. I'm sorry. The Eddie. What's up, man? He says, it feels like Saleh is going to use these interviews to use leverage to get a pay increase in San Fran. Maybe. I mean, that's a pretty smart take. That's a pretty smart take. If you truly think that that's probably a play or a leverage play, maybe. I mean, maybe the Cardinals aren't realistically truly in on Saleh, right? I did like that we had some sort of interview with them on Thursday. That's cool. But nothing's been moved to the point that I'm like, okay, well, now I kind of get a clearer picture as to which route they're going to go. No, I don't have no clear picture. All I know right now is that Vance Joseph's name keeps getting brought up. That's what I know right now, is that Vance Joseph's name keeps getting brought up. And that's kind of frustrating to me. That's kind of frustrating to me if I'm going to be real with you. Now, one thing that we also did see as well is that there's a lot of teams that like Jeff Hafley. There's a lot of teams that like Jeff Hafley out there. And yes, that's including the Arizona Cardinals as well. There was a report that came out, and I believe it's from Jordan Schultz, if I'm not mistaken, that all teams that have spoke to Jeff Hafley, defensive coordinator of the Green Bay Packers, they really do like him. That's why the Titans have him in the top 3. Miami has him as a front runner as well. And the Cardinals really like him as well, at least per the reports out there. I'm not the biggest fan of Hafley either. I'm really not. But we'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out, right? Michael in the chat says, Clint Kubiak is truly the real Michael in the chat says Clint Kubiak is truly the real deal offensively, but I have no idea how he would be as a head coach. That's the wild card right there, right? That's the wild factor. We don't know. We truly don't know how he's going to be as a head coach. I do believe he is all that when it comes down to an offensive coordinator or a brilliant offensive mind. Yeah, I'm right there with you. But that worries me a little bit, right? The fact that he doesn't have the head coaching experience. And even if we wanted to kind of bring him in, who would he bring in as a DC? Who would he bring in as DC, right? I don't know. Anthony Weaver, Jesse Minter. No way Chris Shula is leaving the Rams. Ain't no way. Vance Joseph, there's no way he's leaving the Broncos. No way Robert Saleh is leaving the 49ers for a DC job, right? Jeff Hafley's already has potential job openings when it comes down to head coaches. And then Matt Burke, he's not leaving the Texans. So that's my concern, right? That Ola Kubiak to me is actually becoming a little closer to Saleh for me, right? A little closer to Saleh for me. I don't know what the plan is. I really don't. We're in the Saleh route. If the Cardinals went the Saleh route, maybe he could bring in a Mike McDaniel, right? Maybe he could bring in an offensive-minded guy that can help him out, right? When he focuses on the defense and all the head coaching things that he needs to focus on, that's my main thing. But if they go Kubiak, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. Dante in the chat. Dante in the chat saying, Cards, I'm assuming you're listing the the coaches that the Cardinals are most interested in. I'm assuming that's what you're doing, Dante. Dante says, Cards, number 1 is Vance Joseph, number 2, Jeff Hafley, and number 3, Matt Nagy. Oh, I would hate that. I hate that list. I hate that list. I don't get it, man. I don't get it. I see Saleh over there and what he did with that defense for the 49ers when they were down to their last leg. Like people look at the wild or the division round, they're like, he got beat by Kubiak. Guys, he was playing with like who he had to work with were like third, fourth stringers. Like he was down to the studs on that defense. Like that Seahawks team is a different breed. Remember, that Seahawks team whipped us. Whipped us. It started off 14-0 in a blink of an eye. They whipped us. They were going to do the same thing to the 49ers, and it's not Saleh's fault. And that's one thing that I feel like people are kind of off on Saleh because of the 40-plus points that they dropped on the 49ers defense, which it wasn't all on the defense. They started off with the Rashid Shaheed score, right, on special teams. And he's been playing with some like third, fourth string dudes for a bit now. Imagine what he can do with this team. Imagine what he can do with this team. Just imagine it, right? You get somebody finally opposite side of Mac Wilson Sr., or maybe Cody Sammy develops. We'll see. Akeem Davis-Gaither, I think he's on a one more year of his deal. You got your defensive line that could use a couple more pieces here, or maybe a piece here, right? But Josh Sweat, Jordan Birch, let's see if he gets actually used very well, because Jordan Birch wasn't used. This whole rotational thing, I just think it was a ploy to not be able to disguise who your guy was best opposite side of Josh Sweat. Like this committee thing was kind of BS, to be real with you. Like put somebody in there that you truly feel like was going to be a difference maker, whether that was Baron Browning, Zaven Collins, Jordan Birch, Bijo Jalari, somebody. It just I didn't like the committee thing, man. I get that they were trying to keep everybody healthy, but this whole season was just upside down. When Walter Nolan gets healthy, how can he use him? Darius Robinson, can he get him right? Maybe. Our cornerbacks are really, really young, but they got a lot of promise. I think our defense right now has got a lot of promise. A lot of promise right now. And I think Saleh can do very, very good things with Will Johnson. Max Melton, putting him back on the field, making him right. Garrett Williams when healthy. Sean Murphy Bunting might go away. But if they do decide to bring him back, he's on a 1-year deal right now, or one more year left on his contract. Maybe they decide to keep him. Starling Thomas the fifth. Did we forget about him? Elijah Jones looked pretty good down the stretch. Elijah Jones looked pretty solid. Why weren't we using Elijah Jones? It's nuts, man. It's absolutely nuts to me. But this coaching staff that we had prior to the moves that made, they weren't it, man. They weren't it. At the end of the day, they were not it. Cardinals made the right move. They moved off, and now we are living in a world where we're seeing all these top tier coaching talents becoming available. We got to put our hand in the cookie jar, man. We got to put our hand in the cookie jar. Real quick, something that could affect the Cardinals list that we have right here. I just saw a report right now, and I don't know how this kind of went past me, but Tom Pelissero an hour ago said this. The Ravens are bringing in Dolphins defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver on Tuesday for a second interview for their head coaching job, per source. A former Baltimore player and assistant coach, Weaver has been a finalist for multiple head coaching jobs in the recent years. And Ian Rappaport retweeted that and says the Steelers and the Ravens both bring in Anthony Weaver in again. So for this list, number 9 on the list, Anthony Weaver is also getting a lot of love, right? The Ravens and the Steelers are pretty high on Weaver. Okay. So that might affect the Cardinals somewhere down the road. Michael in the chat says Arch Manning has not looked the part yet. Yeah, I'm assuming somebody in the chat says tank for Arch Manning. I'm tired of tanking, man. I really am. I'm not trying to go for more irrelevance. I'm not trying to do that again. And I get it. There's a lot of Cardinal fans that feel like, oh, well, we're here anyways. You might as well tank for the quarterback next year and this, and that, right? I do not want a 5th straight year of BS, man. I don't want that. And yes, I was singing a different tune a month ago, but because I just didn't think Gannon was going to stay. I mean, I know the reports were saying he was going to stay, and I know every video I made was literally back and forth, but because nobody knew truly what was going to happen with the Cardinals. People could have put their opinions out there, and people could have said things like, oh, it seems like this is going to happen. Nobody knew but Michael Bidwell. Nobody knew but Monty Ossenfort. Nobody did. And now we're here. And now you got the likes of Sean McDermott now available. Man, you got to humor it, man. You got to humor it. You got to call his people. Call his people. And see what it will take to bring him in. I just noticed in the chat, I just noticed that my graphic says not available. It's supposed to say now available. Wow. Dyslexia. Dyslexia hitting strong here. It's supposed to say now available, and it says not available on there. Yikes. But yeah, he's now available. You gotta bring him in, man. You really do. I want to get this graphic changed here real quick. Super easy fix. But yes, Sean McDermott is now available. We'll get this updated right now. Let's read a couple more comments here in the chat. You guys, there's over 100 of you guys right now on the YouTube side. So appreciate you guys for being here up and foremost. That just kind of goes to show that, there's Cardinal fans, man. We're engaged, man. We want to have good things happen for the Cardinals. We want to. It's going to depend, man. It's going to depend if Michael Bidwell feels the same way. So there it is. Graphic changed. Now available. That's what it's supposed to say. Now available. Dyslexia hit me. Sheesh. But yeah, he's now available. Keep the conversation going here in the chat. John. What's up, John? The thing that truly disturbs me about McDermott fire as a Bills fan is that they kept, yes, ding, 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 ding. This is exactly why I was saying the Bills made a massive mistake. A massive mistake. You also got to keep in mind that Josh Allen has been throwing the ball to what is it? What's his name? Shakir? What's his first name? I don't even know his name. Khalil Shakir. And that's no disrespect to him. That's no disrespect. I just don't know him that much, right? But the number one wide receiver of Josh Allen is Khalil Shakir. They tried to go after Keon Coleman. It didn't work, right? They had Brandon Cooks off the street to try to make it work for his wide receiving core. He also had a guy named Shavers, also the guy named Palmer. He got hurt as well. They were on their last leg on the wide receiving core. Literally, they had Josh Allen. They said, okay, we'll make it work, right? But I agree. They literally had no weapons. I mean, Kincaid is a good weapon. There's a really good tight end over there in Kincaid. Not Trey McBride status. Not Trey McBride status. But yes, I do believe they fired the wrong guy. Absolutely, I feel like they fired the wrong guy, the Buffalo Bills did. And they should have. They should have fired the GM. Not Sean McDermott. It's insane to me, man. It really is. It's absolutely insane to me. Gusty in the chat says Keon Coleman got Antonio Brown CTE. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't think he's him. I don't think he's a guy that's going to work. And I think they tried so much with every which direction that they could with Keon Coleman. I just don't think it's going to work, man. I just don't think it's going to work. I could be wrong, but let's see. We got another super chat coming our way. Woo! John coming up here with the $5 donation.
Another one.
Thank you so very much, John, for the super chat. John's coming up clutch saying this. Make sure to express condolences towards Zeba on Tuesday. Yeah, 100%. And here's the thing, right? Y'all know Zeba because obviously the NFC West Roundtable. If you guys do not know the NFC West Roundtable, check it out every Tuesday, 7 p.m. AZ time. Great show. Great show. And it's only going to get better because you got two teams. Most likely one of them are going to hit the Super Bowl, right? So it's only going to get better. The Arizona Cardinals right now need to contact Sean McDermott's people. They need to. Absolutely need to. And it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, John Harbaugh, you need to do this. No, this is right here. You missed out on Sean Payton. You missed out on John Harbaugh. Mike Tomlin is realistically not available because I think he's going to take a year off. This is your chance. Here's your chance. And yes, I will do my damnedest to go ahead and make sure I definitely express my condolences to him for sure. But appreciate you, John. Thanks so much for the super chat. Absolutely appreciate it. Javi, what's up, man? Shakir is, this is not even a debate. 100%. You're right. Shakir is leaps and bounds better than Coleman, and it's not even close. The problem is that they're depending on a guy like Keon Coleman. That's the problem. I'm sorry, wow. They're depending on a guy like Khalil Shakir as their number one guy. That's the problem, right? And what he's done is pretty good. 6 foot, 190, 25 pounds. He's a 5th round pick in 2022. Had over 700 yards this year, 4 touchdowns. He played really well. But is he a number one? That's the question. That's a big question. So far, it doesn't seem like there's a real answer to that. But yeah, I agree. I'm curious to see how Josh Allen is going to be without McDermott there. I've seen some Buffalo Bills players expressing that this wasn't it. There's a lot of Buffalo Bills players going to their social media, like on their story on Instagram, and they weren't happy with this move. And they shouldn't be happy. They absolutely shouldn't be happy. This is a big whiff and a big miss. A big miss and a big whiff. But yeah, now Sean McDermott is available. Cardinals need a pounce. Will they? Let's see. Jameson in the chat says fake or not fake. Why would he come to AZ? Well, I mean, it's a great question, Jameson. It's a great question. Here's the thing. We never think it happens until it happens, right? And that's one of the perfect ways to explain it. Because when I posted my video about Tomlin getting fired, right? Or John Harbaugh getting fired, right? Or Matt LaFleur getting fired. And although Matt LaFleur didn't get fired, he actually signed an extension with the Green Bay Packers. Congratulations to him. But everybody in the chat said the same thing. Or even take it back 3 or 4 years ago when I was talking about JJ Watt. When JJ Watt became available, of course, we jumped on the live streams and we came and said to ourselves, "You got to go after JJ Watt." And so many people said the same thing. Why would he come here? Why would he want to be here, right? Why would he come to an organization like the Cardinals? It's the same thing that we're hearing over and over again. But guess what? Who can change that narrative? Who can change the fact that the Arizona Cardinals are known as a cheapskate? Who can change that? Michael Bidwell, Monty Ossenfort, the guys that are making the decisions out there, because it seems implausible or impossible for it to happen until it happens, right? So if you want to give chances that the chances aren't stacked up against us, I mean, then you're right. Chances are that it's probably not going to happen. But it's time to light the damn fire, man. It's time to light the fire under the ASS of this front office and this organization. We want and demand better. We want and demand better. This Arizona Cardinal fan base has been lived through 4 straight losing seasons. 1 with Cliff and 3 with Gannon. 1 with Cliff and 3 with Gannon. And I do not want to bring I do not want to bring Vance Joseph in here. Oh my God, it feels like it's happening, but I don't want to bring Vance Joseph here. I really don't. Because some people truly believe that that's James says, so say you're dreaming. Well, yeah, I mean that's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. But what's different from any other content creator coming in here? Yeah, I mean that's what it is. It's a dream. It's what you would want your organization to do. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. But until Michael Bidwell actually decides that, hey, I don't want this narrative or I don't want the stigma on us, it's the unfortunate nature of the beast, right? But what I don't want to hear is those same people come out and saying, "Oh, well, Vance Joseph did Vance Joseph." Oh, because I almost promise you, if this is the direction that the Cardinals go, which is Vance Joseph, it seems like most people are saying that this will happen, right? That's because we accept it. It's because we accept it. It's because we accept the fact that Michael Bidwell is going to constantly make bad decisions year in and year out, and it doesn't matter, right? So, for what it's worth, there's that. John in the chat says McDermott would definitely be an upgrade, but he won't ever win a Super Bowl. But we won't ever win a Super Bowl with him. Well, let me ask you this, John. Let me ask you this. Would you want to be known as an organization? A serious question, right? Serious question. Would you want to be known as an organization that's constantly in the playoffs, always fighting for division titles, but quote unquote never wins a Super Bowl? Or would you rather be in a cycle that we're currently in right now, right? Going through coaches, never getting the right guy, always being the bottom of the division. What would you choose? What would you choose? Would you not choose, quote unquote, the guy that takes you to the dance but never can win it? Or would you just take the constant change, the constant just move around over and over again? To me, I would choose a sustainable organization. That's what I would choose. So we don't get people like Jameson in the chat saying, oh, why would he even want to come here, right? I would choose in 8 days out of the week. And I know there's 7 days of the week. There are 8 days of the week. I would choose McDermott in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. I do think that McDermott can be a very, very good option for the Cardinals. I get it. Stigma out there is that you can't win the Super Bowls. I get that. But if you bring in a McDermott, guess what? Now free agents want to come here. Now a trade seems more possible. You're not known as a bottom feeder, a cellar dweller, whatever you want to call them. But also think about it that way. If you bring in a McDermott, you have more of an ability to attract more better free agents. So far, we haven't been the greatest, right? Jonah Williams, and I'm not going to lie to you, I was pretty excited about the Jonah Williams pickup when we did get him. I'm not going to sit here and act like, oh, I knew this the whole time. No, I got that one wrong. I was excited about the Jonah Williams pickup. I really was. It didn't work out. We know that. Bilal Nichols and Justin Jones, were they upgrades from what we originally had? Yes, 110%. They were upgrades from what we originally had, but they suck. They couldn't stay healthy, and they sucked. They were god-awful. The only free agent pickups that Monty has worked out was Josh Sweat, Kazir White, I'm throwing him in there as well, and Mac Wilson Sr. And if you want to throw Sean Murphy Bunting in there as well, because I mean, he's not the best, but he's also not the worst, right? I would say probably those are the 4 free agents that Monty's picked up that seem to have the workout, right? Like that worked out for us, right? Everybody else sucked. They're all terrible. It's horrible. But yeah, I mean, right? My question out there, because I get it. Without reading your comment, and I appreciate the super chat, you're probably saying you want the Super Bowl, but at least getting a chance at it is what I'm looking for. But let me read John's super chat. Appreciate you. Another $5 donation. He's coming up with another one. Thank you so very much. He says this: I would take the former, but you got to remember, as a Bills fan, I live both realities. Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay. So you're coming in here with a different, okay. I respect that. Okay. So I would take the 4, but you got to remember, as a Bills fan, I live both realities. At the end of the day, I want a Super Bowl. Okay. Then you're coming in here with a completely different perspective. Okay. Then I respect that. I 110% respect that. I respect it. I really do. Because it is different, right? Because at some point, as an organization, if you're constantly living it, you want, like, NFC division titles or AFC division titles don't get you very far, right? You're not going to write, banners about it. I get that. Okay. Then I respect it. But coming solely from a Cardinal fan that wants a sliver of success, that wants an option or a chance or a dream that January or February football can become a reality, that's where I'm coming from. But I do understand what you're saying. I do understand it. I respect that, right? And I think that's what happened with John Harbaugh, right? The Ravens were that team as well. They got rid of John Harbaugh. Mike Tomlin was that team as well. And that fan base said, that's not enough. Let's see if it works out for him, right? At the end of the day, let's see if it was the head coach or the organization that keeps that standard up. I'm excited to see if the Buffalo Bills continue their success with Josh Allen or Lamar with the Ravens, and whatever the heck the Steelers decide to do over there, because I don't think it's going to be Aaron Rodgers. At least that's the rumor out there, that Aaron Rodgers isn't coming back because he went there because of Tomlin, is what they're saying. So John in the chat, all I'm saying is at some point, just winning regular season games and playoffs, then I get that. Then I respect that. 100%, I respect that. But I just want to win, man. I just want to win. I want to win. Because guess what? When you're looked as the Bills, right? You're looked as the Bills. You're looking as an organization that potentially can go after the John Harbaugh. They can go after the Mike Tomlin. Look at the people in the chat, right? We got a lot of naysayers in the chat. And I get it, right? They live to being as an Arizona Cardinal fan, the pessimistic side, right? The non-dreamers. And I get that. I understand it. But you have people out there that are saying, oh, you have no chance of getting McDermott. Why would he want to come there? I'm sick of it, man. I'm sick of hearing that. I'm sick of it. But I understand your side. I get it. RC3 in the chat saying Buffalo was predicted to win the Super Bowl 5 times in 5 years and declined in their wins. McDermott can't be Burrow, Mahomes, Jackson, and barely Lawrence. Even if being a playoff team, we want to win rings. Okay. I respect that. Then who do you think that's going to be that guy then? Who do you think is going to be that guy? Kubiak? Saleh? Who do you think is going to be that guy then? Because although we could say the same thing for a lot of teams, right? Sean McVay finally got himself a ring. He's probably training to get himself another ring. We'll see there. Mike McDonald, can he beat the Rams? We'll see, right? TBD. But Kyle Shanahan, perfect example of those guys that, is very good in the regular season, but can never seem to win the championship. Okay, I respect that. But I don't know, man. This 4-season stretch of just being terrible, I'm over it, man. I'm over it. Rodney Hudson was Kime. Yeah, Rodney Hudson was Kime. And now I believe we use a 3rd-round pick to get him. Raiders could be the dark horse to get McDermott so he can get a top OC for Mendoza. See, this is what I'm saying, man. You got the likes of the Raiders. You got the likes of the Titans. Like, people are saying this is the worst head coaching job right here, the Cardinals. It makes me so sick to my stomach, man. It really does. And because I look at the roster, man. I look at the roster and I'm like, okay, this has a good players on them, right? It's got some good players on this roster. We'll see. We'll see. Another name that's kind of getting thrown around again, and I know somebody asked me this earlier, Clay Kubiak. Clay Kubiak. I think he's actually now starting to kind of get more recognition for him. I believe he's the OC? Yeah, he's the OC for the 49ers. So there's Clint Kubiak from the Seahawks, and then there's Clay Kubiak, which is the OC for the 49ers. He's now starting to kind of get his name into multiple different teams trying to work, I guess, interview him for a head coaching job. I'm not going to say it's coming to fruition, but yeah, the McDermott situation, man, I look at it as you got to go after him, man. You got to. But I respect it. Gusty in the chat says, Mendoza's fool's gold. I wouldn't touch him with a 10-foot pole, just like AIG asking Buffett to bail them out in 08. I don't know, man. I do like Mendoza. Do I see the Cardinals trading up for him? No, I don't. Nah. I don't see it. I don't see the Cardinals trading up for Mendoza. I don't. I think they're going to go best player available, whether they think it's going to be offensive lineman or a defensive lineman. They can go that direction. They can trade back, accumulate more draft picks. But maybe a quarterback is plausible, maybe in the 2nd round, or if they do decide to trade up, right? You never know. You never know how it's going to work out. All-American Man in the chat says, I'd give Will Levis a shot. He's 26 years old, 6'4", and Titans would let him go. He's interesting. Yeah, he's interesting. I don't know how the Cardinals feel about him, per se, right? When did he get drafted? Because Monty Ossenfort might have been there. Now I'm thinking about it. Will Levis. Will Levis was drafted in the 2023 overall. I'm sorry. He was drafted in the 2023 draft, the 2nd rounder. Will Levis was to the Tennessee Titans. So by that time, Monty was already with us. Okay. So not really much connection there with Monty, but hey, you never know. You never know. I would say no personally, but I like that we're throwing things out there. Is it Schnotty Tobby in the chat says no, Kyler or Mendoza. Kyler was never the... So no, Kyler or Mendoza. Kyler was never the problem. Okay. Let's keep the chat going. Oh, and today, ladies and gentlemen, Miami versus Indiana. If you want to watch something today, you do got Miami versus Indiana today happening. Excited to watch that matchup. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think Indiana's going to win. I don't think it's even going to be close. Mendoza becoming a Cardinal would just what the doctor ordered. Rick in the chat says, basically Mendoza becoming a Cardinals what the doctor ordered. I just don't see a world where the Cardinals trade up, man. I really don't. And now that Dante Moore declared back, Ty Simpson's coming out, but he's more maybe of a mid-round first-round pick, maybe a late first round, maybe even a second-round pick, just to depend on what happens in pro days, as well as depends on what happens in the combine as well. But we'll see. We'll see. Javi in the chat says, I'm rooting for Miami. Love to see it. Love to see it. I'm rooting for Indiana. All right, well, there you go. You got two people here in the chat rooting for opposite teams, but I'm excited to watch that game. Carson Beck in the Miami Hurricanes versus Indiana Hoosiers and Mendoza. Super, super excited about it. All right, let's do this. I think it's that time. Whew. Oh, man, some of these comments, man. Some of these comments, I swear. All right, with that being said, we'll be closing up shop right here, ladies and gentlemen. It's that time. You guys are all absolutely amazing. Appreciate the conversation. This has been a very, very good 1 hour talking, chopping things all up. And I get both sides of the coin, especially John coming from a Bills/Cardinals fan, right? I'm assuming. So I get that side of the coin, but I need to taste the level of success. I can't go in 5 years of just terrible football. I can't. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. I want to make sure you smack the like button, subscribe. We're on the road to 19K. If you do subscribe, you can be put into the giveaway for this bad boy. So make sure you subscribe it up, smack the like button on your way out. Appreciate y'all for tuning in as always. It's always a pleasure. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Cardinals. There you go.